Good thing all's well that ends well, because that did not go smoothly. Check out the previous powder coating video if you didn't see it. We made a couple of color choices. Our white is going to be that magical pearlized violet, and our dark aqua color is a moonlight teal. I get into more detail about the preparation process, which we follow again now on this intake tube, starting with sandblasting, then extensive lab metal application to fill imperfections, baking it, sanding it, and repeat as necessary until it is smooth where it counts. It consists of about 10 pieces of aluminum all tigged together. I only left a couple of welds showing near the ends where the hose connections are. Of course it's on the scales. I weigh everything. It totals in at a whopping 1,196 grams, or about 2.5 pounds. I was so sick of sanding, I hope that it's worth it. Next, we prep the tube with denatured alcohol. A lintless cloth is best for this. Wear some new gloves, get every square inch wiped well with it, allow it to dry for a few minutes. Also, wipe your working surface really well if you plan to set the item down. Pass the hanger wire on through and tape up the open ends. There are two ways of taping that I've tried. One is to use high temp tape and leave it on throughout the baking process. The other to use temporary tape, like masking tape, and carefully remove it before sending it into the oven. It depends on the shape of the part and the tape location. You don't want powder to fall from your tape onto your part as you remove the tape. Remove all flammable items from the immediate area or go somewhere else, and use a butane or propane torch to lightly and quickly burn off any lint dust or remaining alcohol. We don't want to heat up the tube at all, just quick passes are all that it needs. You'll actually see any bits of dust glow and burn up like little tiny meteors. Okay, let's get you guys comfy over there and get coating. Size this up and go. Now, as this is going on, I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't look quite right. It doesn't seem to be coating very well. From doing the front grille, our precious pearlized violet went on and covered the part really well, so that no original aluminum and lab metal patches were visible at all. Perhaps that disappears when it's baking and it all flows out. I certainly used enough powder. The tape came off without issues. Meh, into the oven. Okay, I have a slight disaster on my hands. So I'm shooting this powder on this intake, and it's going on weird. Like I'm looking at it going, why is it so, it's transparent almost, like it's showing the lab metal spots right through, and you shouldn't be able to tell the difference between lab metal and aluminum when you've got it coated in like what should be a solid white. Even in powder form, it should be, should be nice and smooth and white when you're done. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. I checked my grounds. No, the grounds are good. I couldn't figure it out. And I finished it. Said, well, thought maybe let's just see how it, throw it in there. Maybe it flows out nice and it all disappears. Well, no. I'm looking at the oven. It's getting to about 200 degrees. And you're going to see what is going on. This is not pearlized violet. It was a clear. It was clear. I must have used the pearlized violet hopper for clear until some more empty ones arrived. So I pulled this intake out, 170 degrees maybe, and recoated it with proper pearlized violet, and so I think we've averted the disaster, and we'll see how it turns out. Ay, ay, ay. Little did I know, I was embarking on a cascade of errors. Okay, I think disaster averted. I just pulled the intake out and reshot it with actual pearlized violet, and I think it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna go shave, put my hat on straight, and grab a brain. Okay, we can see the pearlized violet completely coated everything, and no lab metal patches are visible. It's all even, all good, right? The next chapter in my little disaster on the intake here is that with the accidental clear that happened, what I should have done is fully cure that clear coat so that it is a hard surface all by itself. What I did is that I pulled it out before it was fully cured, so that when I added the pearlized violet afterwards, it ended up blending, melting together with the clear beneath it, And so the clear kind of created some graying so that it showed some of the aluminum through, and so I need to recoat it once again. Hopefully we won't start to run into trouble with multiple coats because my gun is not adjustable for voltage, kV. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's terrible. It looks like a big elongated speckled egg. Just some speckling and some gray. The shadow might be making it hard for you guys to see, but no, there's no missing that. It's terrible. So another skiff of the pearlized white, and we'll see what happens. Intake is coming out. There goes my alarm. We'll see how it looks. At the same time, or right after that, I'm gonna try transparent gold on my hose clamps. That is so much better. Whew. Okay, let's have a quick peek. Not bad. Okay, I think we're on to something. Oh, man, I should have built a bigger garage. In they go. I got worried because my shoulder bumped the intake as I was coming through, but aluminum cools so quickly that it has dropped enough in temperature that nothing happened. Whew. Okay, so some rapid fire color changes. That's kind of a new one for me, but clamps are good. And the intake got cleared and it's in. We'll see how that turns out. Turn out it did. We did it. You guys totally helped. We saved the intake project. The pearlized violet once again exceeds my expectations for effect. And the clear over top, which is where it's supposed to be, finished it perfectly. Very relieved. Another pleasant surprise. I coated the stainless clamps with a transparent gold and it turned out well. A natural, sort of tarnished gold look. And here is the result together. And here is the opinion of a different camera with a different filter. I am glad I went to so much trouble with the lab metal and the sanding. Totally worth it. So, what trouble are we going to get into next? It's the valve cover. Gotta go for it. It will take this powder coating challenge to a new level. That's the next video. Like, subscribe, stay tuned. Thanks for watching.